Hello friends, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John and my wife and I are just an average couple living in the United States, and we recently had a baby. She is a little over a week old, and so it's been somewhat a whirlwind in our home here recently. I took the last week off of work to spend some time with Margaret, my wife, and the baby, Caitlin. It has basically flown by, and I'm so thankful to be able to take the time off to spend some time with them. Caitlin has officially been a week old, and what a blessing it has been for us to be able to have her here with us. I have really loved being a dad. I don't know how to describe what that's like, but it's not what I expected. I expected more of the responsibilities, the more structured side, but then I really felt the whole emotional side, and it's been great. So in this video today, I want to share with you a little bit about my perspective of being a dad and how that has changed over the last week or so. It's really funny how I thought there were a lot of things that was important to us. It's important to me, and then once the baby gets here, it's like I'm in charge, and that all those things that were important to me suddenly became not important anymore. And that change is really funny, and I want to make this video to document it and share it with you guys. To start with the big one, clutterness. If you know me, if you've been following the channel for a while, you know that I'm the more type A one between Margaret and I. I'm the one that wants things to be neat, organized, in order, and where they're supposed to be, put up all the time after we use them. An example would be able to get a piece of equipment out to do a job or something like that. Well, it's gonna be put back where it belongs. I use a remote from my monitor, and every time I'm done with it, it goes back in the drawer where it's supposed to be. Margaret on the other side, not so much. She's more carefree. She leaves things around. So we have two different personalities when it comes to that. But I think it's good there that we do have different personalities. I must say that once the baby got here, things became different. Things were a little more cluttered. The bottles are out. The cloths are out, diapers are out, changing pads are out. Things get left around a little more often. So I wouldn't say that things are in order. They're not exactly 5S, if you know what I'm saying. However, surprisingly, that's been okay with me. I've been fine with that. Maybe it's because I'm so tired. Maybe because I focus on a baby. Or maybe because I came to realization that it's okay. It's okay to be a little more cluttered. Don't tell Margaret about that. We don't want to push that too much. But it's funny how that has changed some. I noticed that about myself, where I saw things laying around. I said, oh, that's okay. We'll pick it up later. The other thing that kind of changed as far as my perspective goes is the time that we do things. An example would be feeding the baby at 3 a.m. I never thought once in my life I would have so much joy waking up at 3 a.m. to feed a baby. But it's been a pleasant joy so far. She's up. She's hungry, she's crying, but she's healthy. And for that, we're thankful. And for that, I'm thankful that I could get up to feed her. There are songs out there are people that talk about these kind of things where they say, when you look at those things, you got to think about, what if it's not there? If she's not crying, if I'm not up at 3 a.m., well, either she's sick or she's not here. And I don't want to miss that. Another thing that kind of changed for me personally is how long it takes us to get from one place to another. See, used to, I want to get to places on time. So I would do whatever it takes to get there, if not early. Since the baby's been here, Margaret and I can't just hop in the car and go anymore. There's things like heating up the car beforehand so the car is warmed when the baby's there. Make sure that the car seat is right. Make sure that things are padded. And then put the baby in the car. Make sure that her diaper bag is ready. Making sure that her bottles are ready. Making sure that we have her blanket. So all those things together makes us take longer to get to places. It comes down to strapping her into the car, make sure she's safe. That takes more time. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with taking longer to get to places now. I just tell people, hey, we might be late, or we try to leave a little earlier to make sure we get there on time. But that has not worked so far. And how long it takes to do something has changed as well. From feeding her, for an example, well, we've got to warm up her bottle. We've got to warm up the water. Got to put a bottle in it to warm it up. Got to sterilize the bottles. And those things takes time, and that's just okay. More than going to places, doing things, and all of that, my perspective on time to not do anything is also changed. I'm the type that's go, 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 do, And I get about 5 hours of sleep every night. And other than that, I'm constantly moving. I'm going to work. I'm going to work out. I'm working on videos. I'm cooking dinner. I'm doing something with Margaret. And that's been days in the last week, maybe because I'm tired. But I've just really enjoyed sitting there, holding the baby, watching a movie, or sitting there with the baby next to me and edit some pictures on the couch, or just sit there and hold her and feed her, give her her bottle. And that has been a great change in my life as well. Now, this is really not a perspective change because it's always been there, but I think it's got kicked to a higher notch. That's the Papa Bear mentality. See, you know, people talk about it all the time, where dad wants to protect his baby girl, and more girl than boy. You know, I want to make sure that she's good. I want to make sure that she's protected. Some of those things would be, I've been building a lot of furniture recently. I assemble a stroller the other day, and I assemble a pack and play. And in my mind, it's always been, make sure you do the right thing so it doesn't collapse on the baby when we're out for a walk. So that's there. I've been talking to Caitlin about boys, about giving her warnings that these boys have someone to deal with. You know, I don't work out for nothing. When it comes to other people who want to hold your baby, see, this never really crossed my mind before, because I love babies and I want to hold people's baby and I want to touch the baby's hand and play with them and touch her cheeks. But when it came to my own baby, I learned things like virus. I learned things like germs, where before somebody wants to hold your baby, I want them to go wash their hands, make sure that there's no germs on them. Before they want to touch the baby's hand, because the baby's going to stick it in his mouth, then you want them to change that too. You want them to go wash their hands and all that. When you hand a baby off to somebody, it has been a lot more a conscious thing in my mind to hold a baby's neck so it doesn't snap. So if your friends or family who felt like I've been overly protective, it's true, it's happening. On the same line, I've also noticed that I've been a lot more careful with the driving when Caitlin's in the car. I get this fear that if I turn too quickly, she'll get knocked out of the car seat, or if I turn too quickly, her head would turn too fast and she won't like that. So I would slowly go around the corner, make sure. I definitely have been driving a lot more defensively. If you know me, you're gonna laugh at this as well, is money. My perspective on money has also changed. And not completely, so Margaret, don't get too excited. I have always been very careful with money. I think about it, I planned it, I think about it again, and I plan it again. Margaret could tell you that. But the other day I was driving and Margaret said, hey, we need this for the baby. And the first thing that came out of my mouth was, that's fine. And she said, well, it's gonna be expensive. And I said, it doesn't matter. And I caught myself, and I've done that a couple of times, where I felt like my mentality to money or spending money has changed when it comes to the baby. It became less important if it's for the baby. And that just happens, I guess. The other side of money is I've been having a lot more thoughts about what do I do with extra money that I've made or that I am making from this YouTube channel, from photography business. In the past, I've always considered using that kind of money to go into more equipments to better my business, or buy this computer, buy that computer to make my job easier. Recently, I've caught myself thinking, maybe I can use that money for her college. Maybe I can use that for the wedding. Maybe I can use that to buy her a car when she turns 16. So it's almost like a shift in my mentality, what becomes a priority to what I have. And I think it's a good thing for that. So this is the second to the last point. I don't exactly know how to describe it. I've tried to put it into words and tell you guys, but maybe you guys can help me explain it. That's the mindset on responsibility. I knew that it was important to be responsible when I have a baby. I knew that I would have to keep responsibility in the forefront of my mind. However, it changed. It's really different. It's weird how that whole responsibility part, just the moment I had her in my arm from the hospital, and then ever since then, it just changed. I felt way more responsible. I have this little person who's helpless, and I need to take care of her. And it's just way more than what I thought it would be. Lastly, and I guess this is a bonus one, it's the diapers. If you know me, if we have talked before, you know that I've never changed a diaper before in my life. I've had nieces, I had nephew, I had cousins who were born, and I just refused to change a diaper because It just grosses me out. And I've told Margaret over and over and over again that when Caitlin comes, I'm not gonna change the diaper. I'm just not gonna do it. I went as far as pitching her the idea of creating a diaper changing machine, in which if you're interested to talk about it, you send me a message. I need some funding. I'm just kidding. But I can remember it. We were at the hospital and Margaret said, "Hey John, Caitlin needs her diaper change. It's full." At that moment, I remember it. Never once did it cross my mind, oh, this is gross. No, I remember saying, okay, show me how to do it. So I went, got a diaper, pulled it out, and new babies, I didn't know this at all too. And it kind of shook me, but at that point it didn't matter. They got this, something in their body that they got from the mom that the first few days they had to poop out. And it's black, and it's a little sticky. And I remember pulling down her diaper for the first time, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, macronium. Yeah, that's what it's called, I think. I don't know. Margaret sat in the bed and told me what to do, and I changed the diaper. I wiped her down. And not once in my mind did I ever say, oh, this is gross, I'm not gonna do it. It just happened. I was ready to change that diaper when it's time. So those are some perspective that kind of changed for me in the last week. And I'm sure there's more to come, but I do want to put this on video so I can look back at this in a year or so and say, oh, I remember that. That's good memories. Margaret and I have been trying really hard to capture these memories, these instances, to make sure that we don't forget it, because we don't want to forget what it's like to have a newborn. Her sweet cry, her first bath, her first stroller walk. I hope you come back for that. Those are the videos that are coming out. We took our first set of Christmas pictures that we're gonna get printed on cards and mailed out this year, and we hope those make it out. Anyways, if you have any things that caught your attention and you want to share, please leave a comment down below. If you're a new dad and you have perspective that change after you became a dad, feel free to leave a comment down below. I would love to learn about those. And thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed, I hope you do. Hit the like button because it really helps this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.